Oh, you know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 331. Ooh, we got a lot of episodes. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. It is a early Wednesday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Old traditional.
Yes, that's right. Taking it back to the morning times.
Taking it back to not Wakeville.
Exactly. Ed Placencia.
Yes, sir.
You might as well kick it off.
I shouldn't have said
right.
anything. The teacher saw me.
Exactly. Oh, Ed, do you have something you would like to share with the class then?
No.
Well, why don't you come up to the front anyway? Yeah.
Here's what I did this week.
Yeah. Kevin.
It's been a pretty good week. Yeah. It's kind of unfortunately for gamers, it's kind of a problem that, I don't know, I guess it's going to be here for a while, but Nathan Tatman came over this week and it's like, let's play a co-op game. And it's like, all right, let's look for co-op games because couch co-op I just hate how much of a thing of the past it is. And I understand that a lot of games, you know, the graphics are so intense and so detailed that to double that would be a lot of strain on your PlayStation or Xbox. But at the same time, man, I'd love to play a co-op Assassin's Creed game or a co-op Uncharted game, couch co-op type of a thing. So we spent some time. I downloaded a bunch of games, and then when he came over, we kind of picked and chose. We tried a game called Manual Samuel. Which is basically you control a guy trying to walk around, and one of you controls like his spine, one of you controls the right leg, one controls the left leg, one controls the right arm, one the left arm.
No,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty intense. One of you has to inhale, the other has to exhale.
No,
or
come
he'll
on.
pass out. It's one of you
I'm totally looking this up.
has to blink his eyes.
No, come on. No.
It's pretty ridiculous.
And it's in VR. No.
I know, right? And it's basically you're just, you're trying to get him to brush his teeth or to put his clothes on or to walk across the room. It's pretty funny. We played that for a little bit. We tried some Halo, and that was weird. It's only the older Halo games have the couch co-op, and we'd gotten to a point where unlock this thing, and so we found this button that we thought, and we pushed the button and it installed the Halo app, and suddenly we were watching previews for the Halo TV show. I don't know what
in the world?
The one that never existed?
Yeah, it was really weird. So we turned that off. Sorry, Matt Lighty, and we ended up settling on Guacamelee.
Hey,
nice.
Does that have? Is it the second one, the Guacamelee 2?
No, it's the first one.
Gotcha.
And it's got, you can play actually up to 4 people on that. I never realized that before.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that
And
either.
You have to play the first maybe 10 minutes maybe by yourself. And then it's like a second player can join you. And so you have to get past that first little bit before it opens it up. But it was a lot of fun. And so Nathan and I played that. Our niece Kayla and Sarah played that and had a great time with that. And so it was kind of a, even though it's not a new game, it was kind of fun to discover a fun game and a game that we knew, just didn't know it had couch co-op. So that was a good time. Last week we were playing Injustice and Mortal Kombat. This week we were playing Injustice 2 and just having a good, again, button mashing and laughing and Ninja Turtles versus Hellboy, and it just so much fun. I had a great time with that. And then, as usual, Overwatch, playing some Beat Saber. I played a little bit of Infamous Second Son on Monday.
Love that.
Yeah, you did.
Because
on that old stream,
I was like,
baby.
you know what? Yeah, it was just kind of I just want to put on an old t-shirt that I love and feels comfortable,
An oldie but a goodie.
And Exactly. And so it was, man, that game holds up really nicely. I was really impressed. The animation looks great. Game feels great. I had played Celeste last week, or played a little bit of it, and got maybe 10 minutes into it and was like, I'm just not good at platformers, and it's not that I don't like the game. I just can't do what they want you to do. It doesn't feel right. And I freely admit that, I can't say that's a dumb game. That's just Ed can't do platformer skills, and with those twitch reflexes, and now push this combination and what have you.
So, but Guacamelee you were okay with?
Guacamelee I was fine with, yeah, because I just had a couple of hits and combos I would stick to. They had a section where you had to learn these complicated combos. None of us ever went back to them. It was always just punch, kick, punch, jump, punch, jump.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm kind of the same as you, but at the same time, I didn't beat Guacamelee, but I got all the way to the very end, and I played it on Vita. And there are a few areas, obviously, that I had struggled with and had to do numerous times, but overall, that I don't seem to have a problem with that game, or at least the first one, like I would. The same reason I didn't play Celeste, because I was just like, look, I hear the story's great, and the music does seem really cool, and the art style, is what it is. It's, it looks fine, but I just don't think I can do what they want me to do, and I'm not going to bash my head against the wall because of a neat story. I'm just not doing that.
And I had heard so much about the story, and the struggle is part of the story, and all of this. And I decided to give it another shot yesterday, and
nice.
I was like, I'm gonna try. I want to go in, and I don't want to say that I never really gave it a shot. And Jeff Swan was actually in the stream watching and gave some really good pointers, some explanations. And again, it's one of the cases, I think I mentioned it last week, about a game where they didn't really give you a lot of instructions, but fortunately someone watching was able to. And it's like, oh, well, why didn't the game tell me this?
I think it was Gwent, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was Gwent. Yes. Thank you. And so that helped out a bit. And then I turned on, they have assist mode, and you can choose like 5 different skills you can turn on or off, like unlimited super jumps, invincibility. I turned all of them on. I was like, you know what? Nice. I want to get to the story.
Yeah.
And so I was flying through the levels. Mind you, there's no way I ever would have come close to beating this game. Never, ever, ever. I played it for, I think it was 3.5 hours, played it through the entire thing. And
really, you done with it?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But there's no way I would have beaten it. I would have. Yeah. No, I wouldn't have come close. I wouldn't gotten out of the second chapter. I understand the story is really good, and the people watching the stream were like, I'm actually tearing up right now.
Oh wow.
And it is really good. And there's part of me that's like, I hate that they hid this story behind this super difficultness. But at the same time, I'm glad that they gave you the
assist mode.
The assist mode, because in the beginning of the game, it even says, hey, this game's really tough, and we made this assist mode. And there's part of me that wanted to say, well, then why'd you make it so tough if you knew you were going to need an assist mode?
Yeah.
But I understand. I don't know that the amount of difficulty is necessary to tell a good story. Because even though I was able to fly through it, you still kind of, the story is the story. You get the gist of it. It's really well done. I didn't deal with a lot of the things that the story dealt with, so it didn't hit me like it hit some people. But it was really well done, very cleverly done. So I was glad that I went through it. Is
the story told through like text prompts, or is it voiceovered?
It's text prompts. Yeah.
Okay. I figured so, but I hadn't looked into it deep enough to find out. And I did know there was an assist mode, but I didn't realize how extensive it was. So that's good to hear that, because it's on Game Pass or something right now, right?
It's not Game Pass. It's just one Games with Gold. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's free for the month, and I'm glad it was free. Also because I would have felt like I was really cheating myself if I had paid for it and then just like dip, and skipped right through it.
Yes.
And then yesterday, I didn't even realize it was dropping. I had heard nothing until a tweet yesterday. The 3rd episode of The Walking Dead, the final season, dropped yesterday.
Oh, yes, it did.
And
and you played it on stream.
I did. I was, first of all, very impressed it came out already, considering I feel like they had to kind of start everything from
yesterday.
scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it says in the menu that the final episode comes out March 26th. And
That's quick.
it's really quick. Yeah. And again, it felt like the same story. You know, you could tell they brought in a lot of the Telltale people to work on it. There was a section that was janky with the buttons, like a Telltale game is supposed to be.
Yeah, there you go.
But the one big difference I noticed is that you've got a 360 camera, so you can turn if you're walking free roaming around. You're not just kind of going from one side of the screen to the other. You can spin the whole camera. And it was a nice touch. It was pretty cool. The story, again, it was a great story. It's a Telltale game, so going into it, I was like, okay, I know what's going to happen. We're going to come up with a plan, and then something's going to go wrong. Someone we really like is going to get hurt or killed, and then it's going to cliffhang. And so, that's kind of the Telltale recipe. But as I'm playing it, I'm like, man, if you've ever played any of the Walking Deads and liked them, you really need to play all of them, because they did some stuff in this one that kind of took all of the Telltale Walking Dead stories and put a nice little bow, even though it's not the final episode. And it was beautiful. It was
I like
really
when that gets
nice.
tied in. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
I think I showed up in the stream during what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't even have the volume on, because sometimes to come support, I just turn on your stream without being able to listen to it. And I just happened to look over and I was like, no, I didn't.
Yeah. That's what I thought. So it was nice, and it was really well done. I don't know. Yeah. And again, I'm glad that I had heard nothing about anything, that nothing got spoiled. And I'm not going to do that here, but just to say, if you've ever played The Walking Dead, play through them all. And
exactly. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. And
don't lose faith.
Yeah, it was good. So yeah, a nice week of gaming. And then finally, speaking of gaming, Gabe and I chose some winners for the Extra Life games for the stream.
We did.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't choose it really, but
that's the random name generator Wheel of Fortune chose them for us.
Wheeldecide.com.
Wheeldecide.com. Yeah, that's a nice place. I like that.
I liked it too. Wheel Decide, WHEEL decide.com.
Yes.
I got it from Super Best Friends Video Game Sleepover. They had just done a giveaway, and he was like, and I used the old Wheel Decide. And I was like, I need one of those things in my life. And it was actually super easy to use, and I really liked it.
It really was. And so I got to choose two names to win a video game of their choice.
That's right.
And the first one is he goes by Stupidly Epic. So congratulations, Epic.
Yeah.
And secondly, Michael Bolton, which I then realized after some investigation was my friend Nick from Pennsylvania.
Nice. Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah, so congrats to Epic and Nick for winning 2 games. We'll definitely be in touch with you about picking those up. And Gabe, you have some winners too, right?
That is right. I sure do. Curtis Blissard.
Nice.
Blissard. So I think for all these people, we can go hit them up. I don't know if an email is left behind or whatever, but we will definitely come hit you up. And my second one is actually 2 people, Chad and Jen.
Oh, nice. The factlers.
Super listener, Chad.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes. So you guys.
Congratulations.
Dad joke, Chad.
Yeah, exactly. Dad joke, Chad.
Always hitting up the dad jokes on Twitter.
So if we haven't hit you up yet, hit us up, Curtis and Chad and Jen. And yeah, video game of your choice sent to your address. Let us know. Thank you so much for being part of Extra Life and for donating, man. It's for the kids. We really, 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 really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Edward. Good reminder.
Yeah,
We were
thank
supposed
you.
to do that last week, and I totally forgot. Ed was on it like daggone it.
Yeah, I forgot to.
Tell some pizza.
I forgot as soon as we pushed stop record at the end of the week, at the end of the episode, I was like, "Oh no, Gabe, we forgot."
Yeah. Oh man, Tim Router,
Yes, sir.
what's going on with you?
Well, we got a good old barnstormer here. Piper's topic of the week is strep throat.
Gosh.
There's a whole thing of strep throat going around. And on Friday, she woke up and she just had that tired look, and she didn't have a fever. And I'm like, all right, well, let's go to school. And she didn't say her throat really hurt. And then her teacher calls us at like right before her lunch break at like 11 and said, "Hey, is Piper okay?" And we're like, well, she's just been complaining that she was tired.
Mm-hmm.
And, she doesn't have a fever. And she said that her throat doesn't hurt. And she's like, okay, I'm just checking because she's really not her normal self. So Lauren was like, you know what? I'm going to go and meet her for lunch and just see how she's doing. And then I went to the store to start working. And then I get a text from her. She's like, all right, call the doctor. I'm pulling her from school. And so I was able to get an appointment almost immediately within the hour. And they did the old strep culture and she had strep throat. So fortunately, we got it early. So we just hung out this weekend. She's fine now. Everything's back to normal. She's on that amoxicillin, baby.
I don't know which is worse, strep or getting tested for strep.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah.
And-
they're like,
Jeez.
oh, we didn't get it. Can I try one more time? You're like, no, you can't.
right. If you want vomit all over you, then I'll be happy to.
Yeah, good thing when you're an adult, you look at them right in the eye. You get one shot. You better not screw this up.
One shot.
Yeah.
And you give them the medicine regardless, so you got one shot to confirm.
Exactly. If you had
Yeah,
one shot,
yeah,
one strep throat, one throat culture. So yeah, poor
I'm
thing.
gonna lose it. My stomach. There it goes.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Mom's spaghetti.
Oh, gracious.
Anywho, yeah, she calls that choking, by the way. So that's really good in a public area. They're like, they're gonna choke me again. I'm like, no,
You're
no,
like,
no,
shush,
that's
shush,
not what that
shush.
means. Child services can go away. We're fine.
They're
We're
gonna
fine.
choke me again. Oh my gosh.
They're gonna choke me again. Yeah. Oh gosh. Anyway, so she's doing fine now. I felt really bad for her. She just looked kind of miserable on Friday, but by we got it early enough. So by Friday night, she was back to her normal self, and Saturday, she was fever free, and so yeah, everything's good. So we're back to normalcy,
Gracious.
which is nice.
Mhm.
And just in life too, everything's kind of going back to normal. All the holiday stuff is done, and so we're just trying to get into a nice schedule. This past weekend, we didn't really do a whole lot, which was great. Piper had a birthday party to go to, and then we were able to watch some football. Chris, I'm so sorry about those Cowboys. We don't need to bring it up, but I am going to make a prediction. I think the Rams are going to take it this year.
Yeah.
I think they look that good that it'll be the Saints Rams game is going to be very interesting. But I'm going to say that I think the Rams are going to go, and by next week I will totally eat those words, I'm sure. But they looked pretty solid, and against a really good team like Dallas, it was no joke, and they did pretty well. So I don't know.
The only thing that eased the suffering was that the Eagles lost as well.
Well, yeah, there you go. That's true. So yeah, as long that usually is a small comfort for Cowboys fans, which is always
That's
good.
right.
But yeah, so we were able to hang out and watch some football and just kind of relax, do some laundry, do some stuff around the house, which is nice. On the gaming front, man, it is just still Odyssey all day, every day.
Nice.
And I'm now I'm starting to main mission a lot more things. There's a 1 or 2 trophies that I still just need to get kind of just to unlock, and I think the story is going to help with that as far as I have to go to these areas to kind of unlock everything. But all the other grind trophies are done, so I feel like I'm coasting in this game now.
Do you know off the top of your head what level you're at?
I'm at 63.
Okay.
Oh wow, nice.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they raised it, because the cap used to be 50.
Oh yeah, I took care of that long ago.
Gotcha.
But it's it's just so great. like it's one of those things where if you are a questathon, I guess I'm just a huge questathon person. I just love, like, there's a question mark, boom, gonna go. Let's go see what it is.
Yep.
Or there's a little diamond right there, boom, gonna go see what it is. And like any vicinity that I'm in, I pretty much try and just clear that whole area and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So it's just, but now like I'm like, okay, I don't really have any trophies. Everything else is hidden now, which means I got to advance in the story. So now I'm advancing more in the story, and it's really good. And I'm loving it. And man, Cassandra is really good, and the voice acting is really good for her. And I'm really enjoying her character. She's really awesome.
Good.
So yeah, man, that's short, sweet, man. That's pretty much it for me.
There you go. I like it.
Yep.
Chris McCracken,
Yes.
what have you been doing?
So this week has been, I guess, I'm kind of loose in the sense because Stacy is still sick.
Ah, man.
And actually,
no.
she got, so I think last week when we had recorded, she was starting to kind of come down with something. She took a day off of work. Then she went to work the next day, and then it all started getting worse from there. Like, it's like she got a little bit better, and then it went downhill. And I don't really know. I don't think going to work had anything really to do with it. I think it was just she probably should have taken a few days in a row just to rest it up.
Yeah.
And then over the weekend, we'd already purchased it. So Stacy had started this thing. I don't know if I had mentioned it, but she basically started. I think it was in July. She said, "Hey, I want to do a 5K a month." All the way until, we hit July again. So she's done all of them. And I've done most of them with her. I think there was one or two that I didn't do that she had scheduled. And I just didn't make she already had paid for it and everything. And I was like, all right, well, I'll let you do that one and I'll catch up with you on the other ones. So we had one on Saturday. And it was really cold outside. So I was kind of telling her, look, maybe you shouldn't do this. And she's like, I'm just going to walk it. I'm going to be bundled up. I'm not going to do anything, which, makes sense that she's not going to be running, real hard or anything. But I was just a little nervous, like, I don't know if you should do it. But it was one of the more expensive ones. You get a lot more for it. Like you get a shirt and when you finish it, you get a medal and you get a mug and you get all this different stuff. So usually the ones that have all the stuff that you get tend to be the more expensive ones. And she's like, I paid X amount of dollars for it. I want to go do it. I was like, okay, I can understand that. So we did it and she made it through and everything seemed fine. But then it just... man, her voice started to get real hoarse and just all this kinds of stuff. So she ended up going to the doctor, and it turns out that she has bronchitis. So she got some medicine for that she's been on for the last 2 days, I think. And unfortunately for her, she also flies out today. Like when we finish the show, I'm gonna have to take her to the airport. She flies out for a really short trip. I don't even remember. I think she's going to Maine. So she'll be up there, she'll fly out there today, and then she flies home on Friday evening. So she's not there for very long, but I just feel bad for her that she's going to have to even go when I know she's not feeling the best. But, she's a trooper and she'll get through it. And I do think as she's been taking her medicine, it's been getting better. Like her voice is starting to get back to normal and everything. She still gets drained pretty quickly. But overall, I can tell that she's on an upward swing. So hopefully by the time she gets back, she'll be almost back to her old self and be feeling fine. Circling back around to the 5K, since she wasn't feeling bad, and actually our friend Katie, that tends to do most of these races with me, it's her, the two of them are the ones who made the deal, like, oh, let's do a 5K, and I've just kind of been tagging along on most of them. She's kind of under the weather as well. She doesn't have bronchitis. I don't know if she is specifically what she has, but she's been feeling not that great either. So she's like, okay, well, I'll just walk it with you. We'll just take it easy on this one. So since they were going to be sticking together, because I like to run with Stacy whenever we do these, I was like, you know what, then I'm going to go ahead and try, and I'm going to push kind of hard on this one and see if I can beat my previous best, which I had gotten in July. So I went ahead and went for it. And I didn't really feel like I was doing all that great. I thought I was doing okay. I was like, okay, I might come in right at around 30 minutes or so, which previously my goal was to beat 30 minutes. And I made it by getting like 28:48 or something like that. 28 minutes and 48 seconds. But when I got done with this one, I looked down at my watch and then I checked the times on the official list afterwards, and I got it in 26 minutes and 38 seconds.
Ooh, there you go,
nice,
baby.
man.
Well done, sir.
So yeah, I did way better than I was expecting, especially for considering how I was feeling. I felt pretty good. Like the first 2 miles, I pretty much ran the whole thing, and then there was the first water station. And I always kind of walk when I'm doing the water because I want to throw the cup in the trash. I don't want to just throw it on the ground like all the people do. And then we had to go up this hill and down this hill. And that hill, that's where I kind of broke. And I had to do some walking more than I wanted to do. So I was like, dog, this is going to like slow me way down. And I ended up doing way better. I beat my previous time anyway. So now I set a new goal. I want to hit 25 minutes. And kind of like a small goal. I want to run the whole thing, which shouldn't be super hard because I've done a 10K before where I ran the whole thing. But I mean, I want to run the whole thing at like my running pace. Like I don't want to be like slowly jogging and be like, I ran the whole thing. I want to run the whole thing. And if I do that, I should easily come in at 25 minutes. I think that's where I'm going to end my whole goal stuff, because even though it'd be really awesome to run one in like 20 minutes, I don't realistically think I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm getting old here, so I feel like I'm hitting my ceiling. I don't think I'm going to continue on, past that. I don't know that I'm even capable of it, but who knows?
Man.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see.
You're so old. Give me a break.
I didn't say I'm so old, but I did say I'm getting old. So we'll just have to see. But 25 minutes is going to be the new goal, but I don't know. It'll probably be 2 or 3 5Ks before I actually push for that one, because like I said, I want to make sure that I'm a little bit set for it and ready to go, and that Stacy's got somebody to run with. I don't want to leave her just by herself or anything like that. On the game front, pretty much the only thing that I played is Overwatch. Been trying to save up as much of the gold coins as I can, because I know that once May gets here, that's going to be the anniversary event. And the anniversary event, it'll have the new dances for the characters that have released since the last one, and it'll have, plus all the skins. If they treat it the same way they did last year, all the skins for every event become available again. Mm-hmm. So I like to save my money for that one so that I can just pick and choose and buy exactly what it is that I want if I don't earn it throughout the entirety of the event. So just been working on that, and I've been branching out, just trying some different characters that I don't really try very often.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a lot of Hammond and a lot of Doomfist, and actually liking both of them a whole lot.
Nice, man.
Nice.
So I think last night I played for a little bit before I jumped off to gather up stuff for the show this morning, and I played nothing but Doomfist almost the entire time, except for there were a few times where I wanted to play it, but like nobody on our team would pick a healer or nobody would pick a tank. I was like, all right, fine, I will change my character because you guys don't want to do anything. And so those were the few times that I didn't do it. But outside of that, I've just been playing those two characters a lot, trying to really figure out their mechanics and when to use what, and kind of wrap my head around how to operate them. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the things that is really great about Overwatch is that even as long as I've played it, I'm still finding characters and learning them and learning things about the game. I think I pretty much have gotten to the point where I feel like any character in the game I can probably become, at least decent with, given the situation, if the composition calls for it, except for the snipers. The snipers are the only ones where I'm like, it's just that really comes down to a, controller skill that I don't have. I'm just not that great at it. I'm okay with Ash, and I think it's something about how when she's scoped in, it just like zooms in a bit. It's not like it doesn't put this border all around it. That's something about that really throws off it disorients me a lot, and it slows me way down, and I end up screwing everything up. But Ashes, since it just kind of zooms in a bit and you still see all around the scope really well. So I don't know, something about that, it seems to work a little bit better for my head. I'm still not great at it, but I'm much better with her than I am with like an Ana or a Widowmaker or anything like that. So, but yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with Overwatch, just like I always do. The game never ceases to surprise me at how much fun it is to play.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So good.
Good stuff. Mr. Patillo.
Yes, Ern.
How is everything going? You still rehearsing?
Well, we had a break from rehearsal, but it starts up again tomorrow, and it goes through next week and then up to when we leave. So we will be getting after it, but that's exciting. Good things, good times. Been picked up Far Cry 5 yesterday.
Nice.
At the store. I couldn't pass it up. It was on like a super, super duper sale. And so I think for games with gold or Xbox Live people, I think it was down to like $20. And then Newegg had it for $23. And so, and so I went to Best Buy and I was like, hey, do y'all price match Newegg? And they were like, if it's sold and shipped by Newegg. And I was like, it is. And they're like, is it brand new? Nice. I was like, it is. And so that was nice. So picked up Far Cry 5 yesterday because, like I said in the tweet, I can't play the new one if I haven't played the old one. And so
right.
Play Far Cry 5 first and get ready for New Dawn.
Yes.
I think I told you guys, I know I told Ed and Chris, I got a stand for my PSVR. And it holds the the hat, the 2 wands, and then it has 2 places for your controllers as well, and like holds headphones. It's awesome.
Oh,
now
I love it.
You need a lot of height. It's about 17 inches tall, but it's really great. And I think it's like around, I don't know, 20-ish bucks or something like that. Got on Amazon.
Nice.
And I really like it. So I would definitely tell people out there to go and get a stand for your PSVR. Stop being an animal. I'm just kidding.
So I got a couple of questions real quick about that.
Yes.
How does it power? Like, is it just an AC wall plug that goes straight to that unit, and then that powers wherever? Okay. And then does it hold the breakout box?
It doesn't, but it could.
Okay.
Like, there's not a place where it says this is where the breakout box goes, but it definitely could slide there in the back in between the controllers. There's a room for it. Because
I would like to get one, but I don't have an area that's that tall. Like, I'd have to put it off to the side of my television.
Yes.
And my concern was like, okay, well, I could do that, and I could probably, if it's just an AC power, I could get the power to where the plug is. But I was concerned, like, okay, well, I have the cables to get the stuff over there. Because the biggest problem for us, I mean, I have a way that it's all kind of to keep it nice and tidy in the little area where I can put it next to the PlayStation. The problem is the controllers, because the only way to charge them that we have right now is just while the PlayStation, so Stacey's watching Overwatch, I'll go in there and I'll plug in one of the Move controllers. And then if she's staying playing for a long time, when it gets done, I'll go and I'll plug the other one to make sure that those are the ones where I'm like, all right, I just need a way to charge these really more than anything else. I kind of have all the other stuff kind of situated, but if I could get it all in one package, I'd be down with that. I just was concerned about how would I have the length to get it over to the side where I'd have to put it.
Yeah, probably.
So that's good to know.
Yeah, I would think you'd be able to Jimmy rig something. And so, yeah, I really like it. It's from, it was on Amazon. It was called the Collective Minds PSVR Showcase Rapid AC PS4 VR charge and display stand. Anyway, so it's just kind of nice to not have it just like everything sitting about. Because same thing, I was running into the same thing with the Move controllers. I was like, how do I charge these things? And I just don't like all the cords being out. And I've kind of like moved past that connector, like my phone switched over to USB-C and other things. So, on the life front, not too much going on, keeping her moving. School's going on. Everything's good with that. Gaming wise, got to play a lot of Overwatch with these boys this week, which was really fun.
Oh man, that was nice.
And with Miss Stacy and hearing her scratchy voice. But I'm glad she's on the mend. Remy is still killing the game on Smash Brothers.
That's awesome.
Joker loves Smash Brothers, man. Doggone it. Like, he's not any good at it, but it's interesting to watch even little twitchy things happen with him where you're like, oh, he's doing that on purpose. And so he's been doing that. I was thinking about, and I haven't done it yet, and so don't hold me to it because me and the YouTube channel. But I did, I started Celeste as well, like Ed mentioned, and now I really want to beat it because you're saying that it's a good little story. And now I'm really scared because you're saying that you don't think you could have beat it otherwise without the help.
So, and you can turn on even things like you can slow the game down, and Jeff recommended like 80%, which also made a big difference.
Really?
There's a number of things you can choose.
So like you're doing the whole game underwater?
Yeah, exactly. But you would definitely fare better at it than I would. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, I don't know, man. I died a lot in the couple things I put up on the YouTube channel. So that, and then I want to dive into, I didn't ever play the new Room game. Like I downloaded it, but never played it. So I want to get that done. I want to play that soon. So, the bus is calling my name.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some late night gaming sessions on the bus, probably in my bunk. And they're going to look at my bunk. I just have the PSVR goggles on, playing it, laying down. I'm like, that seems like a bit much.
Gabe's sleep mask is intense.
Yeah, exactly. Does that do white noise? Like, yes, it does. That's it for me.
That's good.
Tim Router, you got it?
Yes, I got it, brother.
It sounded unsure. You sure you got it?
Man, I got this. Let's go.
All right. Well, let's do it.
All right, new releases this week, as Eduardo has said, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Well, no, I'm sorry, you didn't say that one. He said Telltale's Walking
sure
Dead,
didn't.
the final season, episode 3, Broken Toys is the name of the episode for the PC, PS4, Xbox One. Now, as I was talking about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Legacy of the First Blade, episode 2, Shadow Heritage for the PC, PS4, Xbox One. Onimusha Warlords for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Hell Warders for the PC, PS4, Xbox One. YIIK, is that pronounced Yeek? A modern RPG. I don't know. We'll go with it because it's more fun.
I like that.
PC, PS4, Switch, and Vita. Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown for the PS4 and Xbox One. And Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes for the Switch. Our boy Jeff Swan. Yo, you were saying Nintendo likes to release stuff and just let it sit. Since the release of the original Game Boy in 1989, Nintendo has had a new hardware revision on an average clip of every 18 months, with every other revision being a hardware bump for display, usually sometimes CPU, and every third or fourth revision being an entirely new system. They may not always push breakneck specs, but they are always putting out hardware. I'm just a big old sucker, and I own every iteration of every Nintendo handheld there is.
My goodness.
Wow.
So that's very interesting. I didn't know that there is an actual timeline for that kind of stuff. So, and then there was a lot of back and forth oops with our boy Chris about the cow face and everything, but good on you, man. You called it. Barbacoa was what you were thinking of. And so I'm not going to go into all the conversations about the different cow faces, but that was
gross.
That was part of the oops thread for a little while. And that is it for me. Back to you,
Chris McCracken.
Okay, we're going to get into it. The biggest piece of news, in my opinion, that came out, I think, right at the tail end of last week, is that Bungie and Activision have parted ways.
That's
so
right.
Bungie is no longer a part of Activision, or they're not tied in with Activision, and the game that they've been working on, basically the entire time that they've been part of Activision, Destiny, is going to move over into full control of Bungie. Which is the crazy thing, because I thought that, I guess it was just an assumption of mine, clearly, but I always thought that Activision owned the IP for that, but apparently they didn't. Bungie said in a blog post, "We've enjoyed a successful 8-year run and would like to thank Activision for their partnership on Destiny. Looking ahead, we're excited to announce plans for Activision to transfer publishing rights for Destiny to Bungie. With our remarkable Destiny community, we are ready to publish on our own, while Activision will increase their focus on owned IP projects." And as you might imagine, the internet went insane about this because everybody pretty much universally just looks at Activision as just a grubby company that just wants money and wants to monetize things like crazy and just doesn't really necessarily care about the health and overall of health of said franchise, whichever one it might be. There's been a lot of kerfluffle these days about like how Activision is negatively impacting Blizzard potentially. A bit of it's hearsay and like from unnamed sources, none of it's official clearly. So people that love Destiny but have seen all of its ups and downs kind of hold that a lot of the ups and down issues have come from the fact that Activision's like, hey, you need to be putting out something every year and yada, 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 similar to the way that they do with Call of Duty and blah, blah, blah. So me as a lapsed Destiny fan, I'm totally fine with this. I'm glad to see it happen and to see what's going to end up going on with Bungie. I'm hoping that they are able to continue to be independent, as it seems like they're going to be, and publish their own game and whatever other franchise they may do after this or in conjunction with this, because I'm assuming Destiny's not going to be the only thing they do going forward. But I'm hoping that they don't somewhere down the road get to a point where they have to then like team up. Now we got to team up with Ubisoft or EA or Microsoft or PlayStation and do something as well. Hopefully they can stay independent. And this, we're going to see, like, is this going to be what part of the cause anyways to what all the issues and issues like that I've had with Destiny? Are they going to be able to right the ship? Are they going to be able to turn things around quicker? Are they going to be able to focus more on stuff and maybe put out content a little bit slower, but the content that comes out is way more quality? And I don't mean content like new, small little updates. I mean like big expansion type things. It'll be interesting to see. I'm very much intrigued to see how things go moving forward. And I'm not exactly sure the timeline of when this is all supposed to partake. I do think it's supposed to happen this year, the actual transition of them like splitting and the transition of the ownership or whatever, the full control of Destiny to Bungie. So it's going to be a while. It's not like it's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm very interested to see what's going to happen.
And what's nice about this is I don't feel like it's bad blood. There's, you know what I'm saying? There doesn't seem to be bad blood there. It seems like it's a contract that ran out, or maybe they jumped on it a year early or something like that. Was that something like that was the case, Chris?
Yeah, it's something. It was supposed to go for, I believe, another 2 years, and they're basically letting them out of it early. I'm sure there's some type of monetary. They're buying something out, yada yada yada.
Right.
The other thing that's a little bit crazy, just a little bit, and I don't know, but I like to look at things from all different angles and see what possibly may be going on. The thing is that as I kind of alluded to earlier, is Activision is all about money. Activision wants to make a lot of money. Activision wants to do the thing that makes them the money. So it's kind of crazy to me that Activision is voluntarily letting Bungie out of this 2 years early. Does that mean that they're seeing Destiny? And I think you could overall say this has done this, but I feel like they're projecting like, look, Destiny's done. It's just going to go down, and it's not going to come back up. So let's just get out while we're a little bit ahead before this goes too far down and we've invested too much money. I would assume that's Activision's motivation, because if Bungie, if Destiny was like banging, even though it's doing a lot better now than it had been, let's say a little while after Destiny 2 launched, I feel like the Destiny community right now is probably the happiest it's been in a really long time. But does that mean just the hardcore people that are playing right now are in love? I would assume there's not a ton of new people that have been coming in lately. I just feel like Activision reads tea leaves and looks to the future and projects and makes their decisions off that. I don't think this is like, I think they're betting that this is not going to go on back up again. Whereas Bungie, obviously believing in themselves, is probably thinking that, hey, we can turn this around whenever we don't have all these constraints based on, what Activision wants us to do to make the quarterly earnings. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's going to be a curious thing to see which way it goes and who ends up being right, even though neither of those things have been publicly stated. That's just my, speculation.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because Destiny definitely seems like a money-making IP. You know what I mean? So you would think that overall it's going to make money. Now, whether it took way longer to make their money back on Destiny 2 than it did on the first Destiny. And they're saying, man, Destiny 3 will take even longer. You know what I'm saying? Because people getting worn out with it, or, whatever the case is. I mean, I guess I can see that, but I don't want Activision also. It's funny the way Chris explains it, like, that's what every company's out for. No company is out to just dump money into something that doesn't work. Like, Activision's all about the money. Blizzard's all about the money. Supercell is all about the money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but Activision,
all of them are all about money.
The only reason I call it about Activision is that they're like even more
notorious.
Egregious in a way. Like they made, I don't know, I'm just throwing out numbers because I don't know the exact numbers, but we'll just throw it out there for a minute. Like $500 million or whatever on Call of Duty this year, let's say. And it's like, oh, that was 2 million less, so it's a failure. It's like, no, okay, come on. I mean, they have to be like up times 20 or it's a failure kind of thing. Like that's how they look at success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they push everything really hard to make sure that it's like, oh, you're gonna have to put out a new Destiny every time, and we're gonna have more things in the microtransaction eververse, and we're gonna have to yada 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 because they want to improve. Like I don't think it doesn't come off often that they're like, oh, we believe in our teams and our franchise. Like Sony. Sony goes to Media Molecule and like they've been working on dreams for 20 years it feels like, and they're still like, you know what, we believe in you. Keep working on your dreams. I don't get the feeling Activision is doing that with Bungie. Like, hey, work on your dreams. We believe in you. They're like, nah, man, make us some money. You know what I mean?
Well, let's not forget also that Destiny was the original one was a very expensive game. It was one of the most expensive games to be produced
at the time.
And
yeah, supposedly,
they spent a ton of money. Mm-hmm. My guess is with Destiny and all the expansions in Destiny 2, they haven't even come close to making that back. And they're like, well, why are we going to keep putting money into this? And let's just cut ties and let Bungie do what they want. And I think that's probably what it's boiled down to. Now, I don't know how much Activision contributed to all of the expense for the game or anything.
Yeah, I don't know how it all breaks down.
But that could definitely be one of the cases where it's just like, all right, well, here was our 5-year plan. we've dumped all this money. We haven't seen it back yet, so we're just going to let it go.
I agree.
Which, it's fine.
Yeah, and I think too, it might not even be from Activision's side as far as it might be Bungie wanting to do other things and Activision not catching that vision. You know what I'm saying? It might not have anything to do with Destiny. It might be something they're like, we kind of want to get into this over here, and they're like, we don't want to do that, or we don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
They're like, but we want to, and you're like, we don't want you to do that. So it could be something like that where they don't think, a certain thing might be smart, for Bungie, and so they're like, well, if you want to do that, let's figure out a way to end this thing because we don't want our name on what you're about to do.
Agree to disagree.
I do fully agree with you, though, Gabe, that I like that at least right now and publicly that both sides are kind of like, hey, man, this was a great deal and we really enjoyed our time. And they're not being vitriolic about it. I really like that.
Yeah, they're being very cool about it, which is how you should, which is great.
Yes. The game that I feel like broke down barriers long before Fortnite was Rocket League when it came to cross-platform play. And it went up official yesterday that PlayStation now has entered Rocket League into their PlayStation Crossplay beta program. So players from PlayStation, Switch, Xbox One, and PC could all be randomly match made together because you really could figure it out before. You could, I forget how it was done, but it was like you could start like a private server and then somebody from Xbox jump on there and then somebody from PlayStation jump on there and you could get the both to play together and PC. But it wasn't easy. And people always complained about how, like, why can't I just do this, and play with my buddies and make it easy? And so it looks like they're entering the beta program, which I guess is still going on. They have not launched that out of beta yet. And so I'm guessing this is only the second game that's put in the beta program, Rocket League and Fortnite. I don't know what else is in the PlayStation Crossplay beta program, but I think
it's only Fortnite and that I think those are the only two right now.
That's what I would think. So good on Rocket League. I always thought that would be the first game to push that button.
Me too.
But ended up being Fortnite. But I'm glad that Rocket League was not too far behind and getting put in that same thing because they deserve a lot of credit when it comes to cross-platform play.
Yeah, really.
I think just because
they were
such
definitely
a
one of the
huge
most
game.
vocal and your proponents of it. Yeah,
that's right.
Early on, anyways.
Yeah, so good on you, Rocket League. This is you're seeing the fruits of your labor. I feel like
that's right.
Yeah, Chris, what else you got?
So apparently, Verizon is quietly testing its own kind of Netflix-style game streaming service.
Really?
Yeah, so The Verge is reporting that it is a service called Verizon Gaming, and that it's already up and running on an NVIDIA Shield set-top box, and according to the company's documentation, it will eventually make its way to, at the very least, Android. It's currently, the service can be played using a paired Xbox One controller, and it's not being publicly advertised or anything like that, but there is a small participant base where people have been invited to be a part of this game. It currently involves about 135 different games, and participants are promised a $150 Amazon gift card for completing the trial, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
It's like, well, yeah, you're going to give me access to games for free, and you're going to give me $150, sure.
Right.
And they're giving them the NVIDIA Shield and Xbox One controller and login for the test. So I don't know how you become a part of this test, but I wish I was a part of it because I would totally give it a shot. And so I just, it's kind of crazy how when this generation started with Sony buying Gaikai and then starting up PlayStation Now, which, started off a bit rocky. And granted, I have not used it in a really long time, and I only ever did the trial. Yep. And it was just okay. But I've heard from several different people that I know right now that are using it and paying for the service that it's actually really good. They're really enjoying it. And they're like, man, why does Sony not talk about this more often? Because it's actually pretty dang good. Two, we also have, all these other people that are jumping into the whole gaming thing. We know Microsoft's been talking a lot about streaming gaming, that wanting to push in that kind of cloud stuff. Obviously now Verizon's going to be jumping into it. And it's kind of nuts that it seems like next generation or in the next couple of years is definitely going to be the generation where we have all these choices of, I feel like everything's going to be serviced in terms of the gaming side. Like we have EA Access and things like that. I bet they'll offer a streaming option. I still think downloading is going to be, every one of them's going to need to have that as a viable alternative, especially for people who don't have great network connectivity or whatever. But I think it's awesome that they at least have both options, you know, because there's going to be those people who don't really care. Like, hey, I don't want to have, you know, I don't want to mod my console like Ed does and put a hard drive on there. I want to be able to just stream the game. So, I mean, I'm glad that they're going to have this option. And plus, the more people that are doing it, the more the infrastructure and everything, or not the infrastructure, but the more that the technology of being able to do that will get better and better. And somebody's going to come out on top. And then everybody's going to copy that team, or they're going to license that technology or something. It's just going to get better the more they do it.
Yeah. And it looks like Amazon is going to be trying to get into that same space as well. And so it's going to be.
Oh, also Google. We can't forget Google.
Well, yeah, Google already did. Yeah. I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
They did it with that one. Yeah.
And it played well. Now, it still felt like streaming. It didn't feel like it was downloaded, which I just don't know if it'll ever happen. Like, it just seems like, and I see what you're saying, Chris, like, as long as everyone's doing it, that means somebody's going to be trying to push the needle forward to be better than everyone else. And so if it gets to the point where it feels real twitchy and everything's good, and you could play something like Overwatch or something like that over streaming, that'd be a good day. I just don't. Yeah,
I think it's definitely going to take a really long time for any of the FPS or Twitch-based stuff to get there. But even when I did it, again, it was in the very early days of PlayStation Now. I did like a week trial, or maybe it was a month trial, whatever the heck it was. And any of the third person games that I played, or anything that didn't require kind of Twitch reflexes, were perfectly playable for me. And I didn't even have like the best internet connection in the world back then. Granted, I still had better than like somebody out in the boondocks, but so I can only imagine how much better it's gotten even up until now. I would like to try it again. I think that they still offer another trial for it. I might give it a shot just to see. I'm just curious. I don't want to sign up for the service because I don't even have enough time to play all those games, but I just want to see how it works.
That's right.
I'm interested in if it's how it's improved.
So data miners, however you say that word. I don't know how this works, but I guess it's people that, you know, get an application, dig around in the code, try to find things that are deep, deep, deep down in there that could be hints as to what's to come. They have found 22 Super Nintendo games buried in the Switch Online's NES Classic app, which is very encouraging and very discouraging for some folks. Some people are looking at this like it's an awesome thing. They're like, yes, we want SNES games to come to the app that's on the Switch, because it really is awesome, you know, having those games built right in there. And I think it checks in like once a week to make sure you're still signed up for the NES Classic.
Right.
Or for Nintendo Online. So the games that were found deep in the code were Breath of Fire 2, Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Demon's Crest, F-Zero, ooh yes, Kirby's Dream Course, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Kirby Superstar, The Legend of Mystical Ninja, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Pilot Wings, yes, thank you again, Pop and Twinbee, Star Fox 2, Stunt Race FX, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, Super Soccer. So, here's the thing. Gimme. Yes, I'll take it. Of course.
Right? Yes.
I feel like as Nintendo slowly rolls this out, they will become, if they can get their online matchmaking thing going and playing with friends and make that all easier, they'll be the best. They'll be the best bargain for online gaming. $20 a year and getting all these things is awesome, especially when it's attached to nostalgia. However, it is making the people who stayed out in line till 3:00 in the morning to get the NES Classic and the SNES Classic pretty upset. Some people are like, well, why even buy the SNES Classic or the rumored to come N64 Classic and the GameCube Classic that people are saying are coming? Why even buy those if Nintendo's just rolling them into the Switch stuff? And I'm like, listen, baby.
Yeah.
Don't hate. Participate. They're two.
When you're Nintendo, you can make the rules.
Well, that, and it's two different buyers. Some people don't need a Switch. Some people just want the SNES Classic. So it's only techies like me that now own both. You know, I have this Switch and the NES Classic and the SNES Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, does it make it to where I don't need to plug in the NES and the SNES Classic? Sure. But it does put a Band-Aid on your family when you live on the road and you take the Switch and all of a sudden they don't have Kirby anymore. You're like, oh, guess what, baby? I got that NES Classic hooked up in the living room. So
that's very true.
Right.
That's a good example.
Yeah. And, it's not like we're talking obscene amounts of money here. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh man, I waited till 3 a.m. and paid $300 for this SNES Classic. How dare you put it on your service that people are paying for yearly? So anyway, people like to be upset, but we've learned that, haven't we?
No.
Chris McCracken, what else you got?
So Microsoft has released an update for Forza Horizon 4 that removes the Carlton and the floss dancing modes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so
really?
they were not one of the ones, at least currently, that was being sued like Fortnite, but they went ahead and just removed them anyways. In fact, the patch notes only state the Carlton Floss avatar emotes are no longer available. That's all that it says. So basically, the patch was literally just to remove those two. And I never really paid that much attention to the whole emote section, so I don't know if there's other ones on there that could be claimed and that maybe they'll have their days are numbered as well.
I just like that as a card game and we have to worry about dances.
Yeah, I know.
I know, right?
It's a little bit strange.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as I'm aware, this is the first game, because I don't think these are the only two that have these. I know even Destiny has a version, or it had, I guess I should say, a version of the Carlton back in the day. They didn't call it that, and it wasn't exactly 1-to-1. But this is the first of the big publishers to remove something. I'm assuming so that... again, there was no litigation against them at the moment that I'm aware of, but I'm assuming this is just upfront to be like, hey, we don't even want to mess with this. We don't want to get sued, so we're just going to go ahead and pull this. So
that's smart.
To my knowledge, Fortnite still has them in there, right? So I'm curious if this will kind of make them be like, follow suit, or if they'll still be like, man, I'm just going to keep this in there. I'm not really sure, but it was interesting nonetheless.
Both have enough money, but I think that they could be like, we don't even want to spend the money on defending this. You know what I'm saying? Where Fortnite is like, okay, we've helped turn some of these dances into global phenomenons. So, and we've made a lot of money. And so maybe we'll stick this out and just see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what their mindset is. Like, okay, let's not jump ship and take all these dances off just because Alfonso Ribeiro showed up.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Came a knocking.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Put that on America's
Who's there?
Funniest Home Videos.
Alfonso Ribeiro. Alfonso Ribeiro who? Yes, I think is
exactly
what Fortnite is saying. So,
well, the other thing is, could they alter it so that maybe his arm doesn't go up as more, and does that qualify as still the Carlton? You know what I mean? Like, there's
that's
probably
the problem.
a lot of
and you would never notice the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like maybe the leg moves differently, but like, what is considered the Carlton? And if he copyrighted that, that's one thing, but you can't copyright a dance move. Like, you can't really trademark a dance move.
And two, it's not like they're calling it the Carlton. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I think they would have a little bit more leg to stand on if it was like the floss dance, the Carlton. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
it's not called that at all.
You didn't make those things up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
They don't call it that.
And in Forza, it was called the Carlton.
And the floss.
And floss.
Yeah. Floss.
Right. So that makes more sense that if you use the actual name, that might be an issue.
Yeah.
But
I think Fortnite will keep it in there.
Yeah, they're going to keep it in there.
Right.
Fortnite ain't scared of Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah, exactly.
They can afford a couple lawyers.
They can afford a couple lawyers. And I still don't think they have a lawsuit there. I don't think that I don't think a judge would uphold that because as far as I know, a dance can't be trademarked or copyright because there's so many different motions that can be done that would alter that.
Right.
So it's just,
and you would have had to have copyrighted it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, that means if Alfonso wants to sue, that means he would have had to say, I don't know. Maybe not. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's weird. But you know what? Good on them for at least taking it down. That way it's not there anymore, and then they can go from there. I'm sure this will not go fully to court or anything like that.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Be settled.
And I always wonder too, when you hear a news story and they say such and such is suing such and such, like, at what part of the process do you have to be in to be actually suing someone? Like, could I be saying I want to
Right.
sue Tim and then it's Gabe suing Tim? Or do I need to have sent paper over with intent and got a lawyer and spent all this money just to, you know what I'm saying?
And anyone can sue anyone. That doesn't mean that the other party is guilty. You can just sue whoever you want for whatever reason.
And having been
like
through this
indicting
process,
someone, it can just happen.
Right.
Having been through this process last year, that is exactly the case. You basically get served. You have a letter of intent. They lay out everything, and then basically your lawyers get together. So you're not necessarily you're in a lawsuit. You have not officially been sued, and it's just back and forth. And in our case, it was just dropped. So it was
still costs money.
It's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but not. Thankfully, it wasn't a whole lot. But yes, it's still there is a process that's still to it. So I'm sure they're just like, all right, well, we'll just get rid of this, and then our lawyers can be like, well, it's done, and we don't have to go any further.
Right. I still can't believe you slapped that baby. That's crazy. Anyway.
I know, right?
And got away with it.
Hey, that baby was shifty. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
That baby was shifty.
Tell it his eyes, baby. I get it.
That's it. It was all in his throw up.
It drooled on some stationery, like, oh, we ain't having that. Bam!
Get that baby out of here. Smack.
By the way, that is not what happened at all. But that's neither here nor there. I just want to put that out there that I am not slapping babies left and right.
I don't
He
know.
slapped a puppy.
I punted a puppy instead.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So Treyarch has announced that there's going to be a free trial for Blackout, the Call of Duty Battle Royale for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. It happens this weekend. It goes from the 17th to the 24th of January. And this I didn't know. I found out last week, but I didn't know this before last week, is that there's a $30 version of Call of Duty that just gives you the zombies and Blackout. No,
oh, really?
Cuts out zombies and just has Blackout and multiplayer. Which is really interesting because I don't know if the zombies part of the game is worth $30. But
isn't that breakdown, isn't that only on PC? I think that's only on PC.
Yes.
Or initially. I don't know if it's changed. Yeah, something like that. I think on console you still have to buy the full game.
Yes, I think you're right about PC.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
Which is interesting.
Yes. Because what?
Well, I would have thought if you're going to do that, I mean, why not make that available to everybody? But I guess they just assume console players will pay the $60 for the whole thing.
Well, because we're so used to paying $60 for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're into Battle Royale, personally, this is me personally. I know Chris said he wasn't totally feeling it. I really enjoy Blackout. I think it's really fun. It feels like Call of Duty. It controls like Call of Duty. It's exactly what I wanted out of Battle Royales. I've noticed, and I don't know if this was something they did on purpose. I don't know if there's a hot patch they pushed out. But when I first was playing Blackout, the max number of players we ever went in with was 88. It was always 88, 88, 88, 88. And I was like, man, that's really interesting that they only are doing like, and maybe that's the lowest threshold that they have. Like, hey, we got to wait until there's at least 88 people in here. But lately, as I've played it, it's always been 100. 100. And so
interesting.
I don't know what that was. It's kind of like what we complain about with Overwatch. It seems like if there's 5 people out of 6 ready to play, they're like, nah, let's wait till everybody's here. And you're like, man, let's just play with 5 people. And so, get on that Blackout. Just try it out this weekend. It's free for everyone.
I'm going to try it again. I'm going to download it again and go again.
You don't have to stare down at the ground as you pick up things. I know that was a gripe of yours before. I just really like it. I don't know, the sounds. The only thing I don't like, the sound mapping to me is a little off. In the sense of when you're playing with headphones and you hear an ATV coming, that thing could still be like 3 miles away. You're like, that's the ATV I'm hearing all the way over there. And your walking is a little loud, I feel like. When you're running around by yourself, you're like, I see God. You're like, oh, I can't hear anything else going around me. Why am I so loud? I don't even have a weapon yet. So I think if they increase the sound with the more things you held, that would be more apt to be realistic. Anyway, still super fun. Really like it. Call of Duty.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Chris, what else you got?
The last thing that I have is a fun little story.
Oh.
Where this guy on Twitter, his name is Paul, it's either Hubbins or Hubbins, I don't know exactly how you pronounce his last name, but he had shared a photo so his grandmother had a 3DS, and she only played one game.
Yes.
She played Animal Crossing New Leaf.
That's right, she did.
And it broke, and so they'd gotten her a new one, and they were trying to transfer the data from one to the other one. And he shared a picture of her activity log.
Yes.
Because apparently that's something that exists on Animal Crossing, which I had no idea. That's someone who's never played it. And she has played 3,580 hours.
Yes.
Oh my
That's amazing.
Since December 25th, 2014. So basically, she's logged in almost every single day and played this game. There were a few times he actually recorded a little video with her kind of talking to her about it because so many people just fell in love with this grandmother and her Animal Crossing playing. And so he did a little video with her and she was like, yeah, I basically played every day. There were a few days where I got sick and I didn't play, but for the most part, I've played every single day.
That's so cool.
And
That's
it's been one of
awesome.
the things where like the internet has just fallen in love with this grandmother, like I said before, and then they started like sending donations and all these kind of things like that. So he was able to get some money, and then he bought her a Nintendo Switch for Christmas this year. And
Yes.
you know, because there is an Animal Crossing game for the Switch that's supposed to be coming out potentially sometime later this year. So hopefully she'll be jumping on that version of Animal Crossing as well. But she also does have the new 3DS that looks almost exactly like her one that got broken when she had dropped it.
Oh, nice.
But I just thought it was, and then in the video that you can see if you were to go to the article about it, she basically talks about how like she shows a tour of her town and everything, and this is the only game she plays, and she just loves this little game, and it's the cutest little thing. And so
Yes.
it was just
That's
awesome to see
awesome.
the internet come together and just fall in love with the thing rather than
Yes.
complain about
Exactly.
something.
And
Like
that's
Give
she
it
only
time.
played 3,000 hours. Gosh,
exactly
she's not a real gamer.
Yeah, exactly. She don't like that game really.
That's right.
That's 100.
That's going to be me in Clash Royale in a few years.
Right.
Yeah.
That's 149 days. By the way, if you were to break it down in days,
Wow.
that's a lot of
Wow.
time. So I
It
love
is.
that too. I love seeing her sitting in her chair with the blanket on it,
Mm-hmm.
just sitting
Oh,
there with her
that's funny.
3DS. Oh, so great.
Mhm.
Hopefully she'll be able to make the jump over to the Switch.
Yeah, hopefully it's
Mhm.
not too big, and the two analog sticks don't throw her off too much.
Yeah, when you're pretty used to a thing, it's hard to switch up.
Mhm.
I got two more little things. This was kind of fun. The guys over at Guerrilla Games, the developers who made Horizon Zero Dawn,
Mhm.
they said 3 years ago we gave Kojima a copy of our Decima engine in this box. Today, Kojima came back to Guerrilla to show us the incredible things he's making with it in Death Stranding. So impressed. And a couple tweets kind of made it out of that
Nice.
meeting that were like, okay, this is crazy. This is amazing. Blah, 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 blah. So that was really fun because nobody knows anything about this game. And so it's
Right.
cool that some of the people at Guerrilla Games got to sit around and watch Kojima kind of do a little demo of Death Stranding, and that it was so positive coming out of there.
Mhm.
So I thought that was fun. Chris had to have perked up when he saw that over this last week.
Yep.
And then the last little thing I've got is Ariana Grande got a new tattoo. Why do we care? Because it's Eevee.
Exactly.
It's Eevee from Pokemon.
Oh.
And
Get out.
she talked about how she had a Nintendo Switch, and somebody was like, ma'am, what games do you have on your Switch? And she said, honestly, yesterday I had a day off and I played Pokemon Let's Go Eevee for 15 hours.
Jeez.
I was like, yes, Ariana Grande, we getting them. We getting them. Sometimes you don't know, man. These, you only see one side of somebody's personality, but we've seen Chrissy Teigen playing her Nintendo Switch sitting on the front row of freaking Golden State Warriors games.
Mhm.
And you're like, yeah, let's go. So I love it that she loved it so much that she went out and got a tattoo of Eevee. So
That's
thank
funny.
you, Ariana Grande. I should say thank you next, but it's just I don't want to feel like going all the way there.
Yay.
Edward,
Yes, sir.
what you got for us?
Well, over on the YouTube, as you mentioned, Gabe, you've got 3 parts of Celeste up there that you can watch Gabe go through and,
I shouldn't have done
see
it.
how. see how he does what he does. And then yesterday I put up the entire episode 3 of The Walking Dead, the final season, Broken Toys. That's up there.
How was it, by the way? Did it feel different? I know you talked about some glitchy stuff here and there early on. You said, oh yeah, that feels like Telltale. But does it, like, when I was watching it, because I haven't played in so long, like, to me, it looks different and all these things. Could you tell a noticeable difference between 2 and 3?
Not
episode 2 and episode 3?
Not anything I could put my finger on. I mean, of course, the game itself has looked different as the games have come out over the years.
That's right.
But this one compared to episode 2, I said in the beginning, I can't pinpoint what it is. It looks the same, but slightly better, and I'm not sure exactly why.
Interesting.
But yeah. But yeah, for the most part, it still looks pretty much the same, at least compared to episode 2.
There you go.
And then also, we've got a new free game on Game Pass this week. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out. And Game Pass has teased 2 more games coming out this week and 2 more coming out next week that they didn't announce at the beginning of the month. They kind of gave a little bit of a teaser. They gave a list of those 4 games and blurred out everything but the first letter. But you can kind of tell it's going to be We Happy Few, the Lego Movie video game, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, and Saints Row the Third. So not confirmed, but I'll confirm that when they come out. But it looks like Game Pass has some really nice titles coming out in the next couple of weeks.
I really wanted to try We Happy Few, and I know you guys.
I did too.
Were not happy about it at first.
I wasn't. I played the demo way back in the day and wasn't happy about it. But for some reason, I almost bought it a couple times, and I'm kind of excited about this coming to Game Pass.
Game Pass is pretty awesome,
dude. Tell me about it.
Oh,
man.
Bro.
So there you go.
I like it. Thanks, Edward.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, each week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you, what's the first game you're going to start in 2019? Doesn't have to be a 2019 game. Over on Twitter, we got Scott L. Clark at Geocast Scott. Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown. I've been a huge fan of the series since the original on PS1 and have been eagerly awaiting this one since I played it on PSVR at E3. I'm seriously considering a flight stick controller. That's how excited I am. Nice.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, on the 18th, you can try it, brother. Coming out this week.
Christopher Sowards at I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word. At Gassy Redneck 93.
Yeah, you are. Absolutely.
Okay? Everybody's all right? Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to throw that in.
That's right. He said Kingdom Hearts 2 just beat 1 and would like to get number 2 out of the way so that I could play 3. Do it.
Nice.
Do it. One of our new friends, I don't know, we got a lot of new friends, but one of our new friends has been making a splash in our community. Tom Merritt. At Tom Merritt, one of Ed's streaming buddies. Thanks so much for being part of the family. He said, we'll be starting Resident Evil and then going into Resident Evil 2 Remake. Oh, you're a brave man.
Nice.
Oh, you're a brave man. Did I talk about putting my buddies into PSVR and having them play, what's the name last week? Rush of Blood.
Rush of Blood.
Oh, man.
You did. I can't believe you didn't even just put on the helmet just to see what it looked like.
No way. Why? I see it on the TV what it looks like.
But no, you don't. You see it on the TV.
It's different.
It's so different.
I'm not saying it's not different, but I see what it looks like. If you're saying I should have seen what it looks like. No.
You
Did
don't
I also
see what it
mention
looks
he was
like.
a priest? That's why I let him do it, because I was like, well, he's a priest. No demons are going to get past him. All right. Over on the Facebook group, Joe Felix, Anthem. That game just simply looks amazing. Mm-hmm. Danny LaCroix. Resident Evil 2, then Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, man.
Nice.
That's a switch.
Wow.
Mhm.
Pop that clutch, baby. Nick Guido Guerrero. Honestly, just started the walkthrough of Last of Us. It's amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm so jealous.
Man.
Yeah, I know, right?
If I could Men in Black flash myself to forget something and have to do it over,
Yeah.
it would definitely be The Last of Us.
Oh, man.
Over on Discord, we've got Chowfie. He said it's 2019 and I've already beat 3 games. Because if you don't know,
Ooh.
Sheesh.
Chowfie's a true G. Just in case anybody was wondering. He's an OG.
Yeah, right?
Number 1,
OG, true G.
yeah, Astrobot Rescue Mission. Which, have you guys picked up the demo and played that yet?
I
yes.
downloaded it because I didn't know they had a demo until you told me, but I've not jumped in yet.
Ed?
Yeah.
And?
I like it.
You do?
Yeah, I do. Did you not like it?
I like it okay. It's just,
Yeah.
it seems like the accolades are like, it seems like the hype train is a-going on that game.
Yeah, I wasn't like, this is the greatest game in the world. I was like, yeah, this is fun. I mean, I didn't buy it, so that tells
Exactly.
that tells you
Okay, that's
something.
all.
So
right.
I'll wait for a sale.
So, right. He said, number 1, Astrobot Rescue Mission. Number 2, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Number 3, Moss.
What? All right, there you go.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Holy Headshot says, toss up between Metroid Exodus and Far Cry New Dawn. They release on the same day next month. Not starting anything new until then, just continuing to level up in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Monster Hunter World, as well as play Rocket League with my kids. There you go.
Nice.
00 negative. After I finish Red Dead, I'm going to finish the campaign of Call of Duty World War II. After that,
Ooh.
oh man, look at this guy. He says, after that, it's either Spider-Man or God of War.
Ooh.
Both of them are new to me. Which one would y'all play first?
It doesn't
Well,
matter.
we were-
You're
yeah.
in for a great time either way.
And we were split on our Game of the Year decisions anyway. So
Yeah.
it's 50-50 shot, brother. Either
Yeah.
one, man.
I would say do Spider-Man. Only because, didn't he say he's going to do World War II first? That's a little heavier, and Spider-Man's a little bit lighter, and then go into heavy again. Heavy-ish.
There you go.
Forgot
Call of Duty, I don't feel like is that heavy, actually. I played the campaign. I don't feel that
I would
heavy.
say do God of War first because that'll take less time. Spider-Man, you could probably take months on, right?
Well, if
Both,
you do
right?
everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say flip a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
I can't wait for you to play them. They're so good.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I can't wait to get into Spider-Man right after Odyssey. So I'm excited.
Yes. Tara Jack said, I've started Breath of the Wild and Hollow Knight. Really enjoying both. I'm sure Breath of the Wild will be a long form game, but after Hollow Knight, I'll be moving on to Hyper Light Drifter. There you go.
Okay.
Sweet. Sweet. Thank you guys so much. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games. Come join the group. The group is growing and the group is talking. It's awesome. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Of course, marriedtothegames.com. Like Ed said, YouTube.com/marriedtothegames. And if you want to throw $1 in the tip jar, dollar make you holla, you can go to patreon.com/MTTG. We'd appreciate you. Get in on this Discord action because it is good. People are having Discord in there. Friendly Discord. It's great.
Yes.
And Christopher.
Rate us on iTunes, and Router will not smack your baby or punt your dog.
Oh, yes. Good one,
We
Chris.
can only hope. One can
It's
only
like a
hope.
get out of jail free card. They have a card, and they're like, no,
Exactly.
you can't smack my baby. I have the
Nope.
card.
I have the router card.
And you'd be like, well, it's only good for one time. Punch your dog. Yeah.
And punt.
Bar.
Rate us on iTunes because burr.
Come at us, SPCA.
Well, let's get into some questions.
Alrighty, let's get into questions. Let's start with email, mailbag@marriedtothegames.com. Ben, hey guys, thanks for everything you do. I've been waiting to jump on the PS4 train until Last of Us 2, but PSVR and Beat Saber specifically may change that.
Ooh.
About 15 years ago, I got hit in the eye while playing lacrosse and have very limited vision in that eye.
Uh-oh.
I only have peripheral vision, so I can't see what that eye is actually looking at. Would any of you be able to let me know if PSVR would work for me? Ideally, one of you would be able to spend some time and do a song. One of you would be able to...
With one eye closed, maybe?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Mhm.
Spend some time and do a song with your left eye closed. Thanks again for everything. I can't wait to hear back if I will be joining you guys in the VR world.
Ooh.
What do you guys think?
Of all of the PSVR games, that one would probably even work the best because it's all coming down the center.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's not really a lot of peripheral anything you need to really keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yes.
pun intended.
There you go.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's...
I would think so. I could throw it on real quick and see.
Do it.
It's sitting right here. Okay.
Gabe just wants to play Beat Saber.
He just
Exactly.
wants to play Beat Saber. That's
You guys keep talking. I'll just check this out quick.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, that sounds good, Ben. I say go for that. I think Beat Saber would probably be the best thing.
And because it's not like a 3D type thing, so it's more of a like a glasses really more than a 3D effect. So I wouldn't think it would affect it too much.
Yeah, really the only time that you ever even get any of the 3D-ish kind of part is when the wall's coming at you and you have to duck or move around. But even then, you can still train your vision in the good eye straight ahead or around it to hit whatever's coming around. Yeah, so I kind of agree that I think that one more than most of the ones that I played, you don't have to worry quite as much about your surroundings. Now, you can turn all the way around and look at everything. And it's really cool to look at, but it's not integral to the gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, that's good. Good question, Ben. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Discord. Nathan Dugas, what is the last game that was completely off your radar, but you gave a chance and fell in love with? For me, God of War is that game. I wasn't interested initially because I hadn't played any of the previous titles, but after hearing all of the praise it received and knowing it's very much a father-son tale as a father of two boys myself, convinced me to try it. I've barely finished Alfheim, and it's become one of my favorite games of the generation.
Nice.
That is awesome. All right, so a game that was off your radar, you gave it a chance, and you fell in love with it.
For me, it was probably Dead Cells, just because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not really a side scroller kind of guy, and I wouldn't have given it a second thought, and I really was pleasantly surprised with that.
Chris?
She's still got his...
Honestly, I can't think of a game that was completely off my radar that I've played recently, like even in the last year. But I will say that even though I had mild interest in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I really only bought it because I wanted to reach my Play 10 games this year that are 2018 games. That's the reason I got it. I would have still not been playing it right now if it were just, my normal way. I would have been waiting on a sale or something like that. And I ended up making my second best game of the year. So it was a huge surprise for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, mine, I'm pretty sure, and this is just future thinking, mine's going to be Spider-Man because I poo-pooed it, and you three guys have just been praising it, and a lot of my other friends have been playing it too, and so I'm really looking forward to getting into this game. I'm going from one questathon to another.
This is totally doable.
Okay, great.
It's doable.
Right, there you go.
It's totally, I've got my left eye closed, and I'm totally beating this.
Beat Saber, doable confirmed.
Yes.
All right, Ben, there you have it.
Live via satellite from the Beat Saber world.
Yeah, you have your answer live that it is confirmed that you are good to go. So I think your left eye should be okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Very cool.
Yes.
All right, cool. What was the last game that was completely off your radar? You gave it a chance and fell in love with it, Gabe.
It would be a Golf Story.
Oh, nice.
I ended up liking that way more than I thought I would. I'm always semi poo-pooing games that have the old school graphics. I don't like that much.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with it like a lot of people. Hold on a second. I'm taking my hat off. But
I think you should just do the rest of the podcast with it on.
I know,
man.
right? Playing Beat Saber. So yeah, Golf Story. I freaking ended up loving that game, and it was not anywhere close to being on my radar. And that's how amazing our family is. They know. They know.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's everybody, huh?
Good
Sorry, I was
question.
playing Beat Saber. Yeah.
Yep. No, I got you. Beef Master Serta, what is your equestrian skill level? I think it's because of the question call out that I did today. He said, ever ridden a horse enough to need an ice pack afterwards? Bareback? What do you got?
Oh, man.
Yes, I like to stand up on my horse and do all kinds of tricks with it.
Yeah.
My horse name is JoJo. I don't know why, but there you go.
There you have
No, I love riding horse. I've done some horseback riding before, and I loved it. I thought it was really fun, and I think horses are really cool.
There you go. Christopher?
Yes, I've ridden a horse, but I mean, never of any length or anything like that. It's just like, hey, you're riding a horse for like 10 feet or whatever, and then I'm done. Like, it's not.
He's riding the ponies at the festivals, just going round and round.
You're level 1 then, is what you're saying on the horse, right?
Yeah, I'm level 1.
Edward?
Yeah, I've only ridden a horse once. It was for about an hour or so. I really liked it, but I didn't have any training or anything. So yeah, whatever basic is, I didn't fall off.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, here's that old line in the sand that happens
Uh-oh.
every now and then. I've never been on a horse before.
Nice.
And so,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I'm trying to get on a horse. Even though I love horses, I think they're beautiful. And I think they're like cool. Majestic kind of looking, especially when you're up close to them and you're like, oh, wow, these are really big animals. But yeah, I've never been on a horse before. So whatever's under 0 is.
Rate us on iTunes
level.
so we can get Gabe on a horse.
What about when you were a kid at like the carnival and where they have the ponies
pony
that
rides.
go in a circle? Did you ever do that?
Does that count?
Sure. For you, yes.
Sure.
Okay, for me, yes. Okay, thanks.
We'll make an exception for you.
I've probably did one of those things, but Amara has done that and ridden a horse, and she's
good.
Nice.
before she was 6 years old. So I feel like a failure compared to her because I rode a pony maybe once, maybe.
But a success as a dad because she's already ahead of you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, better. Yes,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
Good
Well, there you have
question.
it. All right. Good question. Stumpwater Jack, Chumpy. Eggs. What's your favorite type? If you don't like eggs, what made you such a heartless reprobate?
Man, it is only black and white with these guys.
I know. Yeah, it is.
I love it.
All or nothing, baby.
I love it. That's right. All in eggs. I will take them any which way. I love me some eggs. I've been doing a lot of over easy recently. Love having that little yolk with some bacon. And I will eat every day, all day with eggs. Love them.
Nice. I love eggs too. Scrambled in an omelet, which is kind of like scrambled over medium. Thrown on some toast and let it, then you
let that drizzle.
Yeah, you let it
My
drizzle
nizzle.
out. Then you sop it up with the toast.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. I love some eggs too. Edward?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'll take them however you want to make them, except raw. I'm not Rocky here, but
Yeah,
otherwise,
yeah,
I'm
let's
all
not-
good.
Let's
Yeah,
not
let's
get
not do
crazy.
raw.
Yeah. Chris?
Right.
Yeah, I like eggs. I'm not a runny yolk person, so I like mine
Oh,
cooked.
really?
Whichever way, whether it's scrambled or fried or in an omelet, whatever it is. But I like it all cooked all the way through.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
There you go.
Nice. Good question.
Mhm.
Always love those. VPB Butters. What's the latest crazy phase or thing your kid or dog has done or said? One of our cats is entering the adolescent phase, so she is knocking things off to call for attention even when you are asleep. Oh, I'd murder that thing.
I just don't know why
In the
people
middle of the
have
sleep.
cats. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, they don't like us.
Yeah,
They
Ed.
don't like us.
They don't.
How he asks for an example for a kid or dog and then gives a cat example.
I know, right?
That's how cat people are.
Exactly.
Oh, man. You guys give kid or dog answers. I have a cat one that should stand above
That's right.
and peer down on your answers. I don't know, man. I mean, for me and Router, every 6 months is a new phase with these kids. But Milo is entering a really cute phase where he's able to say thank you and stuff like that. But it doesn't sound like thank you. You know what I'm saying? It's like Tay-tu. And you're like, oh, get out of here with your chubby, light-skinned self. And then Remy is, I remember telling you guys that he's our most loving. He's our peaks and valleys kid. So he's the hardest, but he's the most loving.
Sweet.
And so now when he recognizes people that he sees a lot, like the checkout lady yesterday at Target, because he's seen her a couple times, been in there with mommy.
Yeah.
He told her he loved her
right there.
and so she was like, I love you. And she was like, what's that, baby? Old black lady is awesome. He's like, I love you. He's like, I love you too, baby. You want some stickers? And he was like, yes. And she was like, what do you say? He's like, please. And so they had this nice little exchange. And I was like, all right, okay. And then Amara's just
awesome.
getting too smart for her age. It's awful.
Love that.
She knows everything. Yeah. It was just the three of us at once. Oh, man. All right.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. Ed, what is your cat doing?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Next.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's a cat.
As a
She
cat
doesn't
would do.
anything
Nothing.
new or interesting.
It's not knocking over things for attention.
Nah.
And that's just
laying around.
Yeah, you see how cat people are? Just try to humanize a cat. The cat's knocking stuff over because it's an awful animal, not because it wants attention. That's a human emotion you're putting on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The cat's just knocking stuff over because it's in his or her way.
Yeah.
And cats are just like, meh. They're just like, meh, move it, see, meh.
Exactly.
He's telling me he misses me because I was at this. No, he's not. He's looking at you.
No, he's just looking at you. He's like, feed me.
I love that Ed feels this way and owns a cat.
I know, it's the best. Ed is the only exception to the cat rule.
Exactly, he really is. Tim, what were you gonna say? Is that what Piper get into?
Piper's with her iPod and everything. She's just all about like she wants to text Mimi or Pop or me or Lauren or any of her friends. She's just in this huge digital phase, which honestly I'm kind of embracing, but I'm kind of like, all right, settle down. You can't text at 10 o'clock at night any of your friends because they should be asleep, as you should as well.
Right.
But I'm enjoying that, and it's actually helping with her spelling too, because she's asking me like, Daddy, what is this? And so, what does this word mean, or how do you spell this? And so that's actually a helpful tool for her in her spelling. And so she's just miss iPod right now. That's her phase, and she'll move on to something else later.
I don't think she's ever going to move out of texting people. Sorry, dude.
Oh no, that's not going to happen.
That's not a phase.
No, that's not. No, you're right, but I think she will move on to something like another toy down the road or something else. But she'll always have it. It's always been a part of her. So because she's had an iPad forever, one of our old iPads, and so it's just kind of an extension of her. But everything's like, oh, I'm going to text so and so, and I'm like, oh, not at 10 o'clock at night. You need to go to bed.
Right.
So.
Chris?
Chris, what do you got?
So there's not a particular phase necessarily that's just started or anything with Ellie, but she's always watched TV, and if an animal comes on, she is going after it on the screen and like barking at it. It doesn't matter if it's the sweetest thing or if it's something angry or whatever. Like she is, and it doesn't even just have to be another dog. It can be almost any animal that comes on the screen. And then the other thing is that Stacy's gotten into doing yoga. And I'll do it occasionally with her. Anything that you do, if you have to get on the ground, like let's say you're grabbing your shoes or whatever, like she thinks it's playtime, and so she'll come and start attacking because she thinks that's what it's time for. So it's fun.
Paxton does the same thing.
Yeah.
Wait, and what did your dog start barking at the other day when we were playing video games? You were like, yeah, she hates such and such.
Oh, so Stacy plays in the living room, and typically she's on the little couch thing, and Ellie will sit in her lap. So whenever you're in Overwatch, you just go to the main screen. There's a character there, and occasionally she'll just see one, and she's like, "I don't like that character," and she'll go start growling at the screen because they're just standing there or just like moving around. Yeah, yeah. I don't think she does it with everyone, and she doesn't do it consistently enough to be like, "Oh, she doesn't like Junkrat." It's just certain ones will come on, and she's going after the screen.
Hammond must drive her nuts then.
Yeah, she's done it with Hammond.
That's hilarious. That's really funny. Good question. All right, Mr. Pastor Pickled Ham. Happy Appreciate a Dragon Day.
What the world?
What is your favorite dragon found in fiction, movies, games, book, or music? Trogdor. Oh, and also honorable mention to the dragon that Sean Connery voices in the movie The Last Dragon. I always imagine if somebody asked him, how do you like your human stirred? He'd say, shaken, not stirred.
Yeah, exactly.
#bag 007 dad joke.
It's a good one.
Favorite dragons? Go.
Puff?
The Magic Dragon. Well played.
Yes.
I think.
Always a Disney kid.
Yeah, I don't know if I know another, unless when you guys start listening, maybe it'll come back to me. I don't know any other dragons.
I know.
I'm going with the old Harry Potter Norwegian Ridgeback.
Ooh,
nice.
Nicely done.
Because that Joker was nasty. I'm like, I want to ride that so that nobody messes with me.
Uh-huh. Edward, you have a favorite dragon?
Pete's
dragon. Well done.
Isn't that Puff?
No.
Are you sure?
I forget his name, but it's not Puff.
I thought Pete's dragon and Puff the Magic Dragon were the same story.
No, man.
No, they're not.
But I love you even more because you thought that.
No, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Chris?
I just want to hug you so much right now.
I just want to hug you so much. Oh, my gosh.
The name is Elliot, Ed.
Elliot, yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Elliot,
Gotcha.
yes. Different from
Elliot,
Elliot.
Yes. The
Hey,
untouchable.
Yeah.
Untouchable. That's a totally different dragon.
Oh, my gosh. That's funny.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna say Smog from
Yes.
Lord
There
of
you
the
go.
Rings. But
From
honestly,
The
like
Hobbit.
that's the only one. I don't read a lot of dragon fiction or watch dragon fiction stuff, so that's the only one I can even think of.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, there you go. Happy Appreciated Dragon Day.
Mm-hmm.
I still think he's making this up.
Yeah.
Double O negative. Out of the four of you, who would take the last cookie from the cookie jar and not tell anyone? Personally, I don't know what you're
Hold on a
talking
second.
about.
This was my confusion. Peter, Paul, and Mary sang Puff the Magic Dragon.
Puff the Magic Dragon.
Okay.
So that's where my,
were you thinking of Pete's
That's where
Dragon?
my Pete and Dragon was getting mixed up at.
There you go.
That's amazing.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit.
I'm still going with Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah, go for it. That's fine. Out of the four of us, who would take the last cookie from the cookie jar and not tell anyone?
I think at least half of us.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No.
I thought for sure it was going to be me and you, Gabe.
You know what's
No,
funny?
it'll be me.
would.
Ed, it'll be you and I. Forget it. We'll do
Yeah.
it.
Here's the thing. When I was like, I don't know what age it was, but it was the perfect age. Me and my mom were like at this church function, and it was kind of like family style, and there was one donut left. And as being a kid, I went to grab it, and my mom grabbed me, and she looked at me in the eye. I'll never forget this. She goes, "We don't take the last one." And I was like,
Aw, all right.
okay. And that's literally stuck with
You're
me
like,
my
"Yes, ma'am."
whole life. I don't take the last one of anything. If there was a bunch of bottles of
Nice.
water and there was one left, I'm not taking it. And I don't know if that's
Yeah.
good or bad. It was just that she looked at us and said, "We don't take the last one." And I was like, noted. And so I wouldn't take the last cookie in the cookie jar. No way.
Means you're very giving. That's very
I
Yeah.
totally thought you were gonna say I'll take it and then twist it into some kind of like chubby comment about like people think I took it anyway, so I might as well take it.
I know, exactly.
That's what I was expecting you to say.
That's just with the farting. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't usually take the last of something either. I'm
Dang
not
it.
opposed to asking and be like, hey, does anybody want this? If not, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But I'm not usually like a just take it and keep quiet. Like I don't know who took it. Yeah,
Right,
that's not really my style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would always ask too, but in this case, Ed and I are taking the last. We're going to fight for the last cookie
We'll
in the
split it.
cookie jar.
We'll
Yep. All right, thank you.
split it.
That's good.
You not gonna say
That's
anything?
very
will you?
nice of you. Thank
Nah, I
you.
ain't gonna say nothing. You gonna say something?
nope.
Nah, I ain't gonna
Right.
say nothing.
Say what? Well, nothing.
They'll think Gabe did it.
Exactly. We'll blame Gabe. That's perfect.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Good question. Scottish bakery. Do you think the groceries into the house? Do you bring the groceries into the house in one fast yet uncontrollably heavy load, or do you do two manageable trips?
One load, man.
Yeah,
One
I'm
load,
heavy
baby. I'm a
One
grown
load
man.
to rule them all.
What you talking about? Yeah, one
right.
load to rule them all. That's right.
Exactly. Take them all in.
Yep.
Take them all in if you can. Unless, unfortunately, with Costco, like they don't. It's either
Oh,
boxed
right.
or bagged, so you kind
Yeah.
of have to do that in trips. But man, those Kroger bags, bring them on.
Right?
Yes. Yes. All of them.
All right, moving on to Facebook. Chad Fackler. Good morning, fellas. I have some stupid food questions. Here we go. Ketchup on eggs, yay or nay?
No.
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 Yep.
What's wrong
I'll
with
do
you?
ketchup and I will do
Are you saying yup? Yes, ketchup on eggs?
yes to ketchup on eggs, and I'll add Tabasco with it.
Oh man, we're ruining
Delicious.
eggs.
I tell you, this is no joke because it's actually happened. My stepfather likes hot stuff. So he puts Tabasco on or some type of hot sauce on almost anything. He has put Tabasco on a donut.
What?
Nice.
I'm sorry.
I think it was
All
as a
right.
joke, as like, I'm going to do this, but
This
he
is
has
who
done
in your life that you need to work out of your life?
my stepfather. No, he's a great guy.
This is
he just
who
likes his
that
hot
you
stuff.
need to immediately separate yourself from.
Doggone it. I did like him, but I didn't know that when I met him.
That's right. Yep.
But he was
You can
very
still
kind.
like him. He's still a good guy.
No, that's
like
what I'm
him.
saying. I like
That
him.
sounds great.
It's just hard now. It's just hard. It makes it harder.
Gabe's judging him posthumously now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
a donut, hot sauce on a donut. I mean, we all know that's wrong, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah, that's
yes
kinda
in your
cool.
silence.
Okay. Pop-Tarts, frosted or not?
Frosted.
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 There's
Frosted.
non-frosted Pop-Tarts?
Why would you
Yeah,
not?
yeah, it doesn't make sense why they exist. Just like strawberry ones, why they exist, I don't know. But
I love strawberry ones. Back off, man.
No.
Back off, man. I love strawberry.
Frosted for sure. You kidding
brown
me?
cinnamon sugar for life.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, hash browns or home fries? Ooh, I'll take either. I love both of those equally.
Which one are home fries?
Yeah, what's
I don't
home
know the
fries?
difference.
The hash browns is kind of more of like the shredded and packed together. The home fries are kind of the cut up cubes of
Home fries.
potatoes, basically.
Oh, yes.
Oh, home fries.
I'm doing the home fries.
I like both.
Doggone
I
it.
take them equally.
You gotta
Is
choose
it-
one or the other.
Oh, gosh, good lord!
Don't
All
be
right,
a fence sitter.
all right. I'll do hash browns.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going hash browns
So
too.
we have another riddle. Is a bowl of cereal basically milk soup? Yeah,
Yep.
kind
I
of.
mean, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Let's say that.
So
Milk soup.
cereal is soup.
No, cereal is a soup then.
So when
Like-
next time you're
like-
sick, be like, you want some chicken noodle? No, if you just bring me some cereal.
Yeah, if I get
Yeah,
some
can I-
frosted
yeah.
flake soup.
Yeah.
Oh lord, this is
Oh,
going to be
man.
a Discord
so hot dogs
conversation.
are
I can feel it.
sandwiches and cereals
Yes,
are
and-
soups.
Cereal is
Yes.
is soup. Yep.
Oh man,
Yep, that's our world.
we're gonna bring
Ugh.
Jesus back. There's no way
Yes,
he's
yeah.
gonna stand for this kind of talk.
He's like, all right, we
Exactly.
got to go
Somehow.
early. We're hitting we're going early.
Yeah.
Let's just-
We're gonna
I can't
we're
stand
gonna
this
trigger the
anymore.
apocalypse before
We
you
gotta
know
go
it.
early.
Yep.
We gotta go early. This is getting out of control.
it.
They're calling
Michael,
cereal
round
soup.
up the angels. We going early.
And go for Jesus. Go for Jesus.
Yeah,
And go.
exactly. Gabe, Michael.
In 3.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Forget about what they've done with the climate. They're calling cereal soup now.
Exactly. Oh,
Reset.
my-
Wait, apocalypse is still in the bathroom. We got to wait for that horseman, and then we're good to go. We're good to go.
That's right. That's right.
Jeez.
We are going early. That's awesome.
oh my gosh.
All right. Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
Man, waffles.
I do
for
like
me.
a good waffle, though.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
like a good waffle.
Well, if somebody said, "Hey, you want pancakes or waffles?" I think I'd say waffles. If somebody
There you
else
go.
is making them, anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
If I'm making them, then waffles because they're easier to make.
Exactly. Thank you, Chad, for the quick fire food. Now I got to go get some food.
Exactly.
Travis Pospisil, can any of you do that Tarzan thing with your voice? I don't care if you can't, but please try for our amusement.
I don't care if you
it's
can.
too early
thing,
to
like
do-
Yodel,
Yeah.
the Tarzan yodel
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's too early
Yeah.
to do Tarzan right now.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I cannot.
No, I don't know how to do it. You're the voice guy.
I know,
You're the
I
dude
can't-
singing and stuff.
I
Come
know,
on.
I can't
and
do it
because of
this
it, I've
morning.
lost a lot of control of like my falsetto. I don't think I could do it. Okay, I'll
okay.
try it just for
Here we go.
just for the love
All
of
right.
the people.
All right, here we go.
Go for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, y'all.
Nice.
Yes, y'all.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That was a hype Tarzan.
Yeah,
That was a
exactly.
hype man Tarzan. Is what it was.
Exactly.
Pretty good though, man.
Yeah,
Thanks.
That was
I
good,
liked
man.
it.
I'm the only one
Very
in the
good.
shed, so I'm gonna let you guys go on a
Yeah.
Yeah,
passive
that's
that
true.
your families are sleeping.
I know that's
Yeah,
true.
Stacy's
Yeah,
asleep.
I think Lauren would probably run up here and like, what is going on?
Yeah, we hear the death of Router. Be like, what just happened? Be like, she sliced me in my neck. And I'm like, oh,
I can't talk right now.
exactly.
Brian Nebel, what are some of your favorite ways to relax? Personally, I'm a sucker for a blazing fire with a hot drink, low lighting, cozy on the couch next to my wifey, either watching a good movie or playing a good game.
That does sound good.
Now, doesn't that sound relaxing? Yes,
that
it
does sound relaxing.
Yeah, man, playing video games for me is very relaxing. I'm all that's what I do.
It depends on what I'm playing.
Yeah,
Because
that's
there have
true.
been a couple nights where I'm like, no, one more.
Yep.
Gabe and I were playing some competitive the other night.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh,
sure that-
oh man, it was intense.
Yeah, that was not
It was
relaxing
not relaxing.
at all. But I'll say I love sitting outside. Like when it's now.
Yeah.
Listen, wait. Let me work that back. It's got to be the perfect weather. Like it can't be cold or hot. If it's perfect, I'm talking like 72, and it's nighttime, and it maybe has a warm breeze coming through. Yeah, there's only like one day of that a year here in Nashville, but I'll take that day. Right? Yes, that's relaxing to me.
I love outside in the cold with a fire pit or something like that. That's I can do that all day. I can do that all day, all night.
There you go. What say you, Christopher?
I mean, most of those are pretty good. I don't really find gaming particularly relaxing because I tend to be like real into whatever it is I'm doing at the moment.
That's what I'm saying.
Paying a lot of attention. But the other things like sitting outside or by a warm fire, whatever, all that stuff's cool. But the one thing, and I think I've said this before, but it's strange for me, but I like to be sitting with my dog either on my lap or near me and her chewing her bone. Just the sound of that really relaxes me.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Ed?
I like when Sarah, most of the shows she binge watches on Netflix, I don't really get into. And so I'll just sit by her and read or just lay down next to her on the couch and just kind of, it's really,
that's great.
Having the noise in the background that you don't have to pay attention to.
So
very,
great.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Good question. Thank you for that. I'm relaxed right now. Junior Venegas. Fellas, what's good? I have a 2-part question. We got a Nintendo Switch on Christmas for the whole fam with a couple games. So, number 1, what are the must-have games for us beginners?
Mario Party.
Mario Kart.
Yes. Mario Kart. Mario Party. 1-2 Switch.
2 Switch. Yep.
2 Switch.
2 Switch.
And if you guys could work through Mario Odyssey, like if somebody's controlling it and maybe other people are coaching, I don't know. I think, you need to get a Mario game in there as a family. I think that would be a good one. Jackbox
there you go.
is on the Switch, I think now.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes.
I'd say start there.
All right, number 2. Is it silly for me to be proud of my 9-year-old after she was struggling on Mario Aces and I kept refusing to help her? She was finally able to beat that level, and I couldn't help but to be so proud of her and the joy on her face of conquering and no rage quitting. But rage was there. Did I do the right thing by the little gamer? Sorry for this long question. Yeah, man. Let her figure it out. Absolutely.
You had to figure it out, didn't you?
That's all part of gaming. Yeah, right?
My parents was not helping me with video games at all.
Nope.
It's better that they learn problem-solving skills.
Exactly.
Then
Amen.
Daddy to the rescue.
Absolutely proud of her first.
It is great whenever they are doing a thing, maybe they're struggling a bit, but then you just let them stick with it and then they persevere. They feel way better about it when they've earned it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm not saying you shouldn't help occasionally, but
That's right.
Yeah.
And dads, we will have plenty of time to come to our children's rescue.
Yes.
That need not be one.
That is not one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, we will have plenty of opportunity.
You figure that out. There are buttons, there are prompts. You figure it out. Go for it.
Exactly.
And get a job while you're at it. I mean, you're only 6, but whatever. Get a job.
Totally agree.
All right. We're moving on to Twitter. We got 2 more. At KT120, what is one of your favorite gaming moment or sequences? Mine has to be the introduction of Gray Fox in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Woo.
The harrowing image of all the carved up body parts is burnt into my mind, and it introduces one of the best characters in that game. Much love, guys. Favorite gaming moment or sequence?
I'll just go ahead because I know off the top of my head what I'm going to say. It's a scene in the most recent God of War, although I don't want to say what it is because it is spoilery. Yep. But there's a scene in there, and I did the Let's Play for our YouTube channel, so if you want to get to that point, and you just hear my reaction of when... when you realize said thing is going to happen and then said thing actually happened all that time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yep. That's awesome.
Ed?
Wow.
That's a hard one. I mean,
it is. And we said in the, in our top 10 games of the year episode, I mentioned that very first fight in God of War. And that's going to be my answer again. It was my favorite scene of last year, and it might be one of my favorites of all time. Just so much fun, so incredibly well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a broken record and just say it's first 10 minutes Last of Us. Like that has always stayed in my head forever since I played that game. And I've actually gone on YouTube and watched it again, and it still gets me every time.
Man, I'm glad you said that because I was struggling for one. Like, you know, nostalgia wise, the opening, you know, like 2 minutes of Final Fantasy VII always gives me butterflies. But if you were to put together a sequence where you're just kind of watching and enjoying a story, the beginning of The Last of Us was like some pretty good storytelling mixed with you play a little bit and then back to, you know, storytelling.
Yeah, I love that they did that. Like you play a little bit, but it's still part of it, and then boom. Yeah.
So well done.
Yes. So good.
So good. All right. Chris, did you go?
Yes.
Yeah, you went. Okay, final question at Mr. Killjoy756. If you could be president of the United States for 1 hour, what is the one thing you would change?
I am banning mushrooms. Get them out of my country.
How dare you?
Get them out of my
wrong
country.
with you?
Fungus, not around here. Get them out.
Get them out.
What?
Really?
Ban mushrooms.
Banned.
What?
Get out of here.
Wow.
Go.
That's funny. Ed?
You know what? I'm going to stick with the food thing, but I'm banning all debate of Pop-Tarts.
Really? It's gotten that bad.
I'm sick of it.
Oh, man.
Just eat what you like, and who cares?
President Placencia
Jeez.
has spoken.
Telling you.
That is amazing.
Louise, eat what you want.
Right.
Eat what you
And
want.
dropped it like it's hot. Tim?
That,
Is the question, what are we banning?
No.
What's the one thing you would change?
Oh, Lord.
What is the one thing you would change? What would you change?
Oh, got you. Okay. Go ahead, Tim.
Let's not have a 2-party system. Let's just have, there's no parties. It's just everybody's.
You just got to vote.
We're all together. It's a group. Yeah, you still got to vote, but it's not whether it's a party. It's for the individual. It has nothing to do with the party.
I got you.
There you go. I'll do that.
I would say I'm declassifying UFO stuff.
Yeah,
Ooh, there
good
you
call.
go. Nice.
Dang it, that's a
I'm
good
putting
one.
it out there. If you want to know about
Yeah, good
aliens,
one.
come ask your boy.
Yep.
Crazy thing is, I don't think the president could unilaterally do any of these things.
Exactly, right?
But in our world,
Yeah,
he can.
exactly.
That's the beauty of democracy is that our president can't do as much.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm
and
signing
thank God,
an executive order. I don't know what that does, but
That's right.
I'm executive ordering the aliens.
That's it. Executive order aliens. Love it.
Yes.
All right, that's it for all the questions. Thank you, everyone. We had some good ones today.
Yeah, we
so I
did.
appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, those are fun.
All right. So the question of the week for you guys, and I don't think we've ever asked this, which is weird. Why video games? There's so much entertainment out there to be had. There's movies, there's TV, there's music, there's theater, there's all kind of things. But we as a collective, us as a podcast, you guys as our family, have chosen for one of our main sources of entertainment to be video games. Why video games, Chris?
Why video games? A lot of reasons. It's interactive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a willing participant in it. It's not just something I'm passively doing.
Uh-huh.
I will submit that it is a cheap hobby in terms of most bang for your buck. Like you spend
Yes.
$60, you get 60 hours
Oh,
or
heck
whatever.
yeah.
Even if you only get
Heck
12
yeah.
hours, that's still much more than if you paid $60 for a Blu-ray or something, or a set of Blu-rays or something like that. You tend to get more bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I mean, I guess it has a lot of all the other mediums mixed into one. It has storytelling,
right.
it has interactivity, it has good music a lot of times. Not every bit of it has all of those things, but all those things are mixed in typically throughout. So it's kind of like a great amalgamation of all of them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep.
Why video games, Tim?
Yeah, everything Chris said, the interactivity of it, I can go to a movie and sit there for 2 hours and enjoy it, or I can sit on the couch, make my own decisions and go different paths and do that for 60 hours and plus.
Yes.
And I think it's challenging. I think it helps. I'm one of those that believes that I think it can definitely help with problem solving and just some just life skills in general. I think there's a lot of things to it that you can apply through playing video games. So I'm all in.
There you go. Why video games, Edward?
Kind of touching on what Chris said, and even in your, the choices that you gave, the other options video games all have.
Exactly.
Movies, there's great storytelling, some of the best you're going to experience.
Yep.
Theater, I mean, come on. There's some acting going on in video games that stands with the best of anything you'll find in any medium.
Yes.
Music, the same, whether it's soundtracks or music-based games, you're getting some amazing music. So it takes everything that I already love, theater, movies, TV, music, and it's all in one place.
I love it.
Nice. Well said.
I'm saying video games because obviously, D, all the above of what you guys said. But I think too, like, I've got a little bit of the underdog thing in me. And when I fell in love with video games, it was not mass hysteria over how amazing they were and their, technology is X, Y, Z. And it was a smaller group, I feel like, of people in my school that played video games. It was a little bit more too, because I came up lower to middle class. It wasn't something so readily available to me. And so it was like, I got to be a part of a group that was a little above me, which was nice. And I feel like the friendships I've formed out of video games is more than I've been able to form out of almost anything else. Now, music, because of my job, I've been able to form some lifelong relationships, but how it tied me to people, so deep in a way that music's never done, in a way that, theater or any of my other hobbies have ever done, to be able to come together and talk about a video game starting in middle school or, maybe early elementary school till now is something that's been all through my life. You could talk about Star Wars, something that's had 8 to 9, 10 movies come out about it. But I feel like video games has been one of those things that cemented a lot of friendships in my life.
Yes,
so, and I think it's one of the only mediums that does that. Woo! So you guys let us know. I know they can be lengthy answers, but why video games? There's so much other stuff out there. Why you choose video games? And let us know.
Great question, man. I love that.
Thank you. And we will talk about it next week. Can't wait to see you guys' answers. It's going to be awesome. 331 in the books. Thank you guys so much for listening. You guys are our family. We really appreciate it. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games. And we are up out this thing. Peace.